What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode. It may start seeming like it's a little bit familiar, me being here in this setting. I actually really like the spot. It's nice and quiet. It gives me a place to think, and the lighting's really nice. But yeah, again, it's evening. This is when I do a lot of my drawing, a lot of my preparation work for the next day. I like to do it quite close to the appointment, so it's kind of fresh in my head. Just so I can kind of recall and sort of do some color studies and make a plan for exactly what I want to do on the project I'm working on the next day. So the project that we are working on now, or tomorrow, will be Adam from Bodhi Vision. We're working on his back again. That was one of the first videos I posted. It's the one with the eagle on the back, and the ship and the anchor. This is going to be the third session. Second session, we managed to knock out the top section. Uploading the picture now for you guys to see. So in the progress from the last one, I'll send up in the pictures now. You can see that also. So we got a really good start on the second session last time. So moving into the third session, we're going to be working on the lower back, pretty tender area. So we're going to try and get through this as easy as we can. I remember when I got my back done, the lower back was certainly one of the more sensitive areas. So yeah, we're going to be continuing on, obviously using the same palettes. We're going to be using the old gold, the bright yellow, to get that kind of antique-y kind of looking, almost like brassy kind of look, without getting all crazy and making it look super hyper realistic, but just kind of hinting that that's what it is. And then again, we're using the light red, the orangey red that I love to use. And for this one, we're actually going with the jungle green. I really wanted to kind of make this one pop a bit more, have some really high contrasts. There is a little bit of a undertone in Adam's skin. It's a slight little olive undertone. And those, even like the slightest bit of coloration in your skin can really have a dramatic impact on the end product of what the color looks like. That's why if you just have like a little bit of a darker skin complexion, it can really alter the way that a color would look, especially in the lighter colors. So yeah, I think when doing like a olive green, this one might just make it a little bit too drab. So yeah, we've gone for like a bit of a brighter jungle green. So yeah, really looking forward to the third session, excuse me. And so it's going to be a fun one to get everything that we've lined all buttoned up and looking nice and full. Moving forward into the fourth session, we'll be focusing on the ship, but that's another story. Anyway, let's get over to the studio and get this one started. Okay, here you can see what we got done last time. Everything healed up really nice. So today we're going to be focusing on the lower section here. Picked up a new camera, so we're getting these cool little Insta360 shots. Still learning how to use this thing, but really getting some cool angles on this thing. So it's a lot of fun to be learning how to use this. So when this is across all tattooing in general, really, I know some photorealistic guys will probably disagree. But traditionally, when we're shading and coloring in a tattoo, we start with the darker colors and we go through to the lighter colors. So in this situation, on this back piece, we'll be working with the black first, going through to that jungle green, the light red, the old gold, and the bright yellow. The reason we do this is so that we don't discolor any of the lighter colors. For example, if I had a bunch of yellow that was already down and I wipe the black, it's going to smudge over the yellow, and those pores are still going to be open, and that will in fact take on board some of that dark color, so you'll end up with like a muddy color. Sometimes if you see like a tattoo that's very muddy and all the colors are kind of the same, it's typically because they either didn't follow the rule of working dark to light, or perhaps their rinse cup was super dirty. Sometimes people use very small rinse cups and discolor the water, so when they try to clean their ink out of the machine, between colors, it doesn't really clean out properly, and then you're left with muddy colors. So the key really is to go from dark to light and make sure your rinse cup is nice and clean. When I'm wiping, I like to make sure that the paper towel is fairly damp. Nobody wants a dry wiper. A dry wiper is like taking sandpaper to a bullet wound. You really want to keep it nice and soft, so you're not irritating the skin. The whole point of tattooing is to apply the tattoo with a minimal trauma to the skin. So we want to be running our machines hard enough that they hit and get in, but not so hard they're chewing up the skin and making everything really, really red. So yeah, nice and gently. It might seem that sometimes I'm moving that machine super vigorously, but that's down. It's all about control. As you get used to using a machine, it's definitely more about the control. It looks a lot rougher than it is. I try to be as sensitive and as careful as I can when tattooing people, because tattooing sucks. It's painful. So the least trauma we can give to the skin, the more comfortable the client is, the longer they'll be able to sit, and most importantly, the best it's going to heal. You know, if you've gone at it with a jackhammer and just really dug it in, then the chances of you getting like a nice smooth heal becomes very, very unlikely. As you can see here, I'm actually breaking my own rule. Um, I jumped over to the other side and I've started from black all over again. I am being careful how I wipe, not to wipe my black ink over the lighter colors. But the reason I do this is so that it makes it less sore. If I'd done the whole thing all black and then gone over and done the green and then the red, it just makes it very, very sore. So I can complete one section, be careful as I work and move forward, and it just enables the skin to get less angry. Another trick I do is I often will put tattoo glide over the part of the tattoo I've already done. This kind of gives it a barrier and helps to not get any discoloration with those lighter colors. And again, just to touch on my setup with this, those of you that remember the last video, which is exactly the same setup, I'm using the Dan Cuban Mojo box with the sweet tips, and we're actually using a flat 11 mag for this one. I do often use curved mags, but I find these flat ones kind of get into the corners a little bit easier, and I also find I get a much better pepper shade off the flat mags as opposed to the curved mags. I'm not really going for a crazy peppery look on this piece, but it's certainly nice to get that traditional style where it does have a little bit of the peppering out from the black. Alright, as we approach the end of this tattoo now, I really do love tattooing flowers. I don't know what it is. Ever since I was an apprentice, I used to love just tattooing leaves and flowers. And over the years, I've done many different ways of doing this, but something about these little corner flowers here, I just really love the way they are. Just the simple colors, very bold, very readable. It's a nice way of just framing off the corner of this back piece in particular. And I just really think these colors work so well together. Yeah, so here we go. This is the final product of today's offerings. Really happy everything went down. Skin looks really great. Doesn't look like it's been overworked. Very happy with the progress on this now. You can see all the pores are open there. Yeah, very smooth. Really happy with the way this turned out. Very cool. All right, we're going to wrap up this video now. Super busy day. Started the day off by doing shipping for skeleton goods, then doing emails, trying to fit a bit of yoga in, getting to the shop in time, doing the tattoo, getting home, feeding the dogs, walking the dogs. But I just wanted to, while it's still fresh in my mind, jump in and kind of wrap up this video. Really happy with the progress today. We actually knocked out everything that we wanted to do, get the whole lower back done. So that gives us a really good position to be moving forward. And next session, which will be in a couple of weeks, we'll be focusing on the centerpiece. And I'm really excited about this. We've sat and chatted about it earlier during our session. We're going to go in and do it all just black and grey. So we're going to have full-on colour on the outside, and where the photo essentially would be in the middle of this frame, it's just going to be black and grey. But to make something even a little bit more exciting, and I'm actually really pumped on this idea, is we're going to kind of add a little bit of brown into this black and grey stuff to kind of give it a sepia look. So really excited to do that piece. Adam is more than happy to go along with this project. I've never done it before, so I'm excited. I have seen it done before. I'm definitely not the first person to do this, but I'm excited to give it a try myself. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions, please leave comments below. Really do appreciate those of you that are following. Really does mean a lot. Right now, I'm still learning a lot and trying to get confident in front of the camera. I'm really not a person that typically likes to be front center of attention. So this is a very, it's an interesting journey for me. So thanks so much for your patience, and I really appreciate all your support. I hope you have a great rest of your week. Peace.